Welcome to the June 2015 episode of Iowa City in Focus. I'm your host, Mary Bryant. The rainstorms we had in may have led to some disappointing cancellations of outdoor activities, but they were good news for the plants at our city parks. On this month's episode, we'll take you to two different parks to talk about the various plant life being nurtured there. We'll also share a special feature on some visitors to Iowa City from across the globe. Stay tuned! Today I'm talking with Zach Hall, the City of Iowa City's Superintendent of Parks and Forestry, and we're out at the Terry Trueblood Recreation Area. So Zach, can you tell us, what is the city's vision for landscaping out here?
Well, we've been working on a number of aspects. One of them, the main component, is the Prairie, and so if you've been out, you can see our Prairie in Progress signs that we've had out for the last year. We're in our third year of establishment, and that's kind of the make or break point as far as the Prairie goes. So we're excited. It's been a great wet spring, and we're excited to see what starts popping up.
Mm-hmm. There are already some beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Can you tell me, other than it's pretty, what are the benefits of introducing Prairie here?
Well, it brings back, some of the native landscapes, helps with pollinator populations, and just different wildlife. So it also has the benefits of stormwater retention and just bringing back a different ecosystem that used to be here.
So what does it take to introduce a prairie?
Well, it is a different level of management. It is still work, and once you get it to that certain point, it can be a little bit less labor intensive than, say, traditional turf grass mowing. So overseeding, initial seeding, then overseeding, cutting the plants at the right time, cutting out weeds at the right time, and then really the most beneficial aspect is for a prairie is burning, which we have yet to do out here. So
what stage are we at right now?
So right now like I said, we're in our third year, and we've cut in the fall, and then we overseeded this winter. And then we did one initial cut so far this spring just to knock down some of the weed plants and then let some of those beneficial prairie plants come up. So we're still evolving with it. So that's kind of where we are right now. We're excited this year, this third year. Like I said, it's kind of a crucial time, and we'll be looking, to see when we can burn and what that benefit will bring to us.
So what should the public keep in mind over the course of this prairie introduction and nurturing it?
Sure.
What do they need to know about?
Well, it's not weeds, although there are some weeds interspersed, and that's part of the management and the maintenance is to basically try and grow out the prairie enough that it doesn't allow weeds to infiltrate. And so that's where we are right now, and that's a big component to keep in mind, especially when you're driving by or out here. It looks like, it looks so overgrown and weeds. And
do you get calls sometimes?
We
People
do.
Saying,
we do.
Why are you leaving Terry Trueblood so weedy?
We do, and it's interesting because people oftentimes don't understand that it's a prairie and that's what needs to happen and that's how it looks. And once you educate them, explain to them, and give them background and whatnot, then most people are pretty receptive to it. So
and obviously they care.
Yeah,
they care what it looks like.
Definitely.
So
I mean,
as long as they just know what's going on.
We wouldn't be getting those calls if people didn't care. That's correct. Yep.
So when do you expect the full prairie to be here with where they can defend from weeds and just be a self-sustaining prairie?
Yeah, that's a good question. We're, like I said, year 3, it's a crucial time. So we're seeing that we're hoping that this is going to be kind of the cusp of it, the hump of it that we're going to get over, and then we'll start to get to that point. And again, once we do a burnout here at some point in the near future, that will increase its potential as well. And that's really the thing to remember, is that with a prairie establishment, it takes years and it takes time, and it's always evolving, it's always changing, and it's always, as my boss likes to say, it always is going to get better. So that's where we are, and we're excited.
Well, that's good for you. It keeps you on your toes. You have to keep thinking.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. You know, we got to come out here in the wintertime and take pictures and see how it's progressing, and come out in the fall. And it's throughout all seasons we're monitoring and watching and doing something to help its growth.
Now, there are a lot of paths I'm seeing around here. Can you talk a little bit about the areas that you've put down for people to walk and bike?
Yeah, we have about a 2-mile loop around the lake, and we just installed some new signage around the lake called the Wiedemann Walk in honor of Mary Wiedemann. She was a former Parks and Recreation Commission member, and so it's a tribute to her. She and Terry Trueblood, the namesake of the park, they worked together closely for many years, and so it's an honor to both of them.
Well, I think it's placed really nicely, the path. You know, you can just walk right through these beautiful flowers and just see it coming up, see the prairie growing. And
yeah, we get a lot of compliments about it, and we're happy with it. It's one of our greatest features in Iowa City.
Oh yeah. Be sure to visit the Terry Trueblood Recreation Area over the summer to see the prairie growth in person. Through the month of May, Iowa City was host to 2 visitors from Southeast Asia who were visiting as part of a cultural exchange program administered by the U.S. State Department. Check out what they had to say about their experiences with the program and their stay here in Iowa City.
I have been so fortunate to be invited by the U.S. State Department to participate in the Young Southeast Asian Leadership Initiative program that was spearheaded by President Obama back in 2009. To do a cultural work exchange program with Southeast Asian young leaders, come over to the U.S. to learn about city government, governance, politics, education, civic engagement, so that we can bring some of the things that we learn here to go back home. Also, taking a little bit about American life, culture, as well as exchange some of our own culture and ideas.
I'm here for a professional fellows program initiated by President Obama, and as a professional we are expected to have first-hand experience to share our knowledge and our background, so American people can a bit more understand about our differences, our cultures, and the way we see things. And I think that's a big part of this program, is to connect people to people between our countries and United States in general. When I first notified that I will be assigned to Iowa City, then I Googled up what is it about Iowa City. Then I saw a big pictures of cow with the farm in the background. So I was expecting like I'm gonna come to a farmland and do something in the farm kind of things. But when I arrived here, what I see is quite different. I see young people, and we went to University of Iowa. We see great libraries, facilities, and when we were touring the Kinnick Stadium, it was awesome. I think it was such a fantastic experience, and from that experience I learned that Iowa City has been investing so much for the futures, and I think that's a big thing, and it's very important to guarantee the sustainability of the city. We are fortunate enough to live with the American family, with Tom Marcus, the city managers, and Tom and Debbie has been so welcoming, so great as the host. We exchange a lot of ideas, offer dinners and breakfast, and I really feel American hospitality. So by having this kind of conversations, this kind of connections will last forever, because there's something built in there, which is understanding, mutual understanding. Even though we're coming from different backgrounds, different cultures, different point of view, if we apply this in a more broader perspective, then I think it's a great idea to build intercultural understanding between two countries.
Some of the things more for me that I feel that I have gained in coming here was literally just being able to see how the government works, because it's very different from back home in Brunei. We went to the city council meeting last week. You know, whether it was the young folk or even the older folk, they all came in and they were able to kind of present their views. They were very involved in what was going on in the community. They're able to vote on things. They're able to, speak their mind. Well, back home, it's a little different. There aren't a lot of emphasis on those kind of services. So the hope is that I would be able to learn some of these things here in Iowa City, and that would be my primary goal in going back and trying to kind of serve as a resource.
I joined some meetings like the ICAT meetings, and then meeting about preparing summers of the art festivals. I think that was awesome because the governments of Iowa cities are very supportive in accommodating the communities, young people, artists, and also local businesses to collaborate together and creating something great for the city. And of course, this kind of approach is very much relevant and can be implemented back home in my countries.
City government here have been really transparent and really welcoming with us, and letting us know what's going on, and also involving us in some of those conversations. And I think the transparency here is really great. Iowa City is one of the best cities that I have ever been to. It's it's young, fresh, vibrant.
The Iowa City is well-managed city.
Now let's head over to Wetherby Park for an update on the activities happening there in the edible forest.
My name's Fred Meyer. I'm the Director of Backyard Abundance. We're an environmental education nonprofit here in Iowa City, and we are today at Wetherby Park Edible Forest. This is the creation of Backyard Abundance in Iowa City Parks and Recreation, and the goal is to create a 1/3 acre of space that provides free food to anyone who wants to come and harvest it. It provides perennial food. So we've got apple trees, plum trees, cherry trees, peach trees, as well as a bunch of berry shrubs. Today's planting party, we've invited the public, volunteers, to come in and plant a bunch of herbs. And so we have different crews doing different areas of the landscape.
We've only been here a little while, but already I feel really just invigorated by sunshine and dirt. My hands are doing really well.
It's really fun and welcoming and community building.
Yeah.
So I'm just really interested in growing my own food and learning how to grow my own food, and it's really great when they have some of these educational opportunities right out here in this community.
So we've got everything from oregano to creeping thyme to sage, a lot of culinary herbs, to native plants. So we've got milkweed for the pollinators, we've got purple coneflower, which is also good for the pollinators, but it's also a medicinal plant. Got self-heal out here as well.
I am a community herbalist here in Iowa City. Fred asks me to come out and bring some informational material about making the herbal preparations and harvesting the herbs, and just kind of consulting about what to do with some of these plants once we get them in the ground and people are out here harvesting them, which is really exciting for me.
A food forest is such an invaluable resource for the community because it will stay around for these will be here in 30 years. The fruit trees are going to be here, and who knows how long they'll stay around, maybe 100 years. And there really isn't a price you can put on this.
Anyone can come out and harvest food here. So my secret hope is that actually things will get over-harvested and we'll have to plant more spaces like this.
As a student who came here from out of state, it's really nice to be involved with things like this where you're putting down actual literal roots in the community. It makes you feel more involved.
You can watch all of these segments again at citychannel4.com/video. Or to catch our latest programs, connect with us on Facebook or Twitter, where you can get regular updates on new and upcoming activities. Thanks for watching and keeping Iowa City in focus. We'll see you next time.